What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Ola here with Ola TV. And on this one, guys, I want to talk a little bit more about the whales and how this is linked to Shiba Inu. I know that right now the markets have been crazy, and I know that the Shiba Inu has looked very stagnant at the moment. But we're going to get into it, and we're going to tell you here why it is that you should potentially go ahead and think about holding, and if you are not holding, why you should be. Let's go ahead and get the video started. Here we go, guys. Here's the news, and we're going to start in just a moment. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's your boy Ola here with Ola TV, and today's news is going to be about the whales regarding Shiba Inu and why you should either be holding, and if you're not holding, why you should possibly go ahead and get into it, because there is a lot of news that has been pulling out at the moment regarding Shiba Inu and the whales. Before we go ahead and get started, as usual, just want to let you know, as you can see on the bottom of the disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. So please make sure whatever you invest, you do it at your own risk, and you make sure that you invest whatever is feasible and optimal for your portfolio. Again, this is not financial advice. However, if you do decide to get into Shiba Inu or any crypto, just make sure you do it responsibly and you do it at your own risk. Now, let's go ahead and get started. So, the first bit of news here, this is very interesting news. Let me go ahead and get ready to share my screen so that you guys can go ahead and see why this information is important and why it is that you should care. Because I just noticed recently more whales are starting to jump into the crypto space, and specifically so they're starting to jump into Shiba Inu. So let me go ahead and share this first screen here with you guys. All right, guys, if you're looking at the screen here, you should be able to see what I'm seeing. And let me go ahead and just make that a little bit larger here so that we can go ahead and make sure we show you what I'm looking at. So basically, this right here was printed on March 16, 2022. The website for this is thecryptobasic.com. So this is a very recent article. This is actually today, and it says whale holding 4 trillion Shiba Inu and bought an additional 50.7 billion SHIB for a total amount of $1.1 million USD. This just occurred today. So this same whale, it looks like he had bought in the past, which I've done videos on this. The whale had bought, I think it was roughly like two I think it was 2 trillion or 1 trillion or something like that. And then he's continued to reinvest and bought a few more trillion of Shiba, which is a lot, because as you know, the remaining amount of supply after 50% of it was burned, there was remaining of about 589 trillion. So this one whale right now is holding 4 trillion and just reinvested even more for an additional 50.7 billion sheep. And that was reported today as of March 16, 2022, which is exactly today's date. As I'm scrolling down here, it says, as per data by Whale Stats, says the 15th biggest whale of Ethereum has accumulated 50 billion 736,574,302, which is basically that's valued at about 1.1 million US dollars. If you scroll down a little bit more here, look, it shows it here. Big news update, that transaction right there. If you copy and paste that, you'll be able to locate that, and you'll be able to find that on Etherscan. The Etherscan website will show you everything that's been burnt. So if you go to Etherscan website, it will show that transaction, and it will show that this is real news. This is not fake news. So this is a huge deal, guys, because as I've always said, you want to follow the money, right? And so, as I said in previous videos, whenever you notice that not only big whales are not only investing, but they're also holding long term and also reinvesting, that's a clear indicator and a clear sign that you should continue to either reinvest, hold what you currently have, or if you're not already in the game, you may potentially want to get into the game. Again, guys, Do this at your own risk with your own dollar amount, with what you can afford to lose. Um, Make sure you're not doing this with rent money, food money, car loan money, or anything like that. You should only use, side money, money that you want to kind of like side hustle, basically. Again, this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, but look at this. The date here is on Twitter, and it's even showing that it was at 3:51 p.m. on March 15, 2022. So if you look at that, that transaction just occurred in the early afternoon of yesterday, which lets you know that this is vital and this is important, because if you're in the game, stay in the game. If you're not in the game and you're on the sidelines, you might want to get in the game. And if you're on the bench, you might want to get off the bench and hustle and get back into the game. So that's one article right there. Next article here, let me go ahead and switch over very quickly here. Let me go ahead and share this other site here for you. This is another site you want to look into. This website here is listed as libertoken.com. So the word liberty without the Y, libertoken.com. And it says here nearly two-thirds of sheep traders on Coinbase hit the buy. The hike is incoming. This article was printed yesterday, March 15, 2022. So this is another recent article. This is not old news. This is by Watch Your Guru. That's a very reputable website. They give a lot of updates on things going on with the whales. So if you haven't used that website before, you want to tune in. If I scroll down a little bit here, let's see. It says let me go down a little bit more. It says in the past 24 hours on Coinbase. This is just on Coinbase. It's not even talking about all the other exchanges, because as you know, Shiba Inu is available on 99 to 100 different exchanges. If you didn't know that information, you know it now. So right about that 100 mark, they have about 100 different exchanges that they're trading on. This one is just specifically talking about Coinbase, and it says that sheep trading activity in the past 24 hours on Coinbase is at a 64% buy rate and only at a 36% sell rate. So what does that mean? That tells you it's another indicator letting you know that there's more people that are starting to either reinvest or are holding long term, or you have the whales that are continuing to jump in, adding more money, and that's giving you a clear sign. So this indicator here is not just based on the whales, it's just based on the overall platform. But that lets you know for Coinbase, think about that 64% buy rate. That means that two-thirds of the people that are invested in SHEEB are holding it as a buy trade versus as a sell trade. So that lets you know that great things are coming for SHEEB. That lets you know that, in its due time, it is going to grow. I know that right now, again, it's been a little bit stagnant with the numbers and it hasn't been skyrocketing, even though there's been a lot of great news. But I tell you this, remember that we're in this for the long term, not just for the short term gains. And if you believe in Shiba Inu like I do, I believe within the next year, 2022 leading into 2023, we're going to see some big explosions. And I do think that within the next 2 to 3 years, we should be able to start seeing, a lot closer to that 1 penny mark, maybe sooner than that. But again, I'm not, I can't predict the markets. They work the way that they work. But I do believe that these indicators of the whales jumping in and the 64% buy rate, I believe that that's going to tell you more than enough that things are going in the right direction. Let me go ahead and also go over here and share with you my usual website not my website, I don't actually own it, but the usual website that I go to for other updates regarding the actual dollar values as far as crypto goes. So if you guys want to know if it's going in the right direction, you can see that Bitcoin is back to $40,552, and Ethereum is back to close to 2,700. And if you look at it in the last 24 hours, Bitcoin is up 5% and Ethereum is up 6%. Binance is up 3.6%. And if you go down, Solana, which is another good one, up 5.6% in the last 24 hours. ADA, which is AKA Cardano, that's up 3%. Polkadot's another good one that's up 6.3%. And then if you go down to Sheeb, even though Sheeb, right, has only a 2.9% increase and it's holding at 2205, so 0.00002205. You got to think about it like this. The last time that Sheeb had crashed, it went down back to 5 zeros. It was at 0.000067. It has never dropped back to that point. So that lets you know that between the 22, the marker of the four zeros and the 22 up to the 33, that's the typical marker for normality when it comes to sheep. So that's why I'm not worried. I'm not scared that it had dropped a little bit because it didn't go back to five zeros. Now, if it would have went back to five zeros, there would have been a lot of fear. A lot of people would have probably jumped ship and a lot of people would have left. Now, me personally, I'm not going to jump ship. What I did was I did the smart thing. I just reinvested. So when it dropped, I did what's called the cost average. Cost averaging is basically like if you own a certain amount of either stocks or coins or tokens, etc. And let's say you bought it at a high value, you bought it when it was high, but you didn't get to the opportunity to buy when it's low. When you get these kind of dips and they're on sale, this is what I call on sale or on discount. You want to make sure that you go ahead and tune in to that moment, and that's when you want to reinvest because you can go ahead and get a lot more bang for your buck when it's lower. So what I did was I reinvested in sheep, a couple of extra, several hundreds of dollars into sheep, and I'm getting more millions of coins for a less price target. So that way, my cost average is better because when I had reinvested last time, it was a little bit higher than the current point that it's at. But now that it dipped, I was able to go ahead and do cost averaging. So now I got several millions more of sheep tokens at a lesser price. And that's what you want to do. You want to get it at a lesser price. So that's really good news because if you wanted to have the opportunity to save and reinvest, now is your opportunity because the whales are jumping in very, very quickly. Here's another website that I recently discovered that I was not aware of. This is a very good website, guys. If you don't have this website already saved on your Chrome, or on your Firefox or whatever browser you use, this is a good one to use as well because this website right here is going to show you what's been going on as far as the recent activity for the burns. So every time that Sheba is burning, it's going to post some type of a scan or a confirmation or something that lets you know that X amount of coins have been burned. So right now, I myself, I haven't burned any coins yet, but if you guys help me out, what I plan to do is as soon as this channel for YouTube becomes monetized, which by the way, I'm not just on YouTube, I'm on multiple platforms. But if you guys help me to get to a point where I can be able to monetize my channel, what I'm gonna do is similar to what other channels have been doing. There's other channels that what they're doing is that whatever amount of money they accumulate within a 30-day cycle, once YouTube pays them out, what they're doing is they're buying the sheep and they're instantly burning them. So that way, the value of the sheep, per token can begin to rise. So I follow like at least two channels that currently do that. One of them, they do what's called like a 24/7 Shiba Live, where for like a full 24 hours, they'll just be talking about sheep. And while you're tuning in, you're basically helping them to gain watched hours and you're helping them to gain revenue. And so by you watching their videos in its full entirety, you're allowing them to be able to accumulate more monetization. And what they're doing is taking that monetization, investing it into sheep, and then burning the sheep instantly. So that's really good. I plan to do that soon. My channel is not yet monetized, but it is going to be monetized very soon. I'm almost at the marker of what I need as far as watch time hours. So that's going to be great. But getting back onto topic, let me show you this website, why you want to care about this website, why you should care, and why it's important. So if you look at here, right? Let me try to go ahead and make this just a tad bit larger there, just in case if you guys can't fully see it. There you go, a little bit more zoomed in. So if you look at the left side of the screen first, right? You notice it says sheep's current price, right? And then if you scroll down, what does it show you? It says sheep Inu supply. So it says 410 trillion, 304 billion, 620 million, etc. Right? This is the total amount that was burnt on the initial supply. So that initial supply, what that was is that was the amount that was originally donated from the Shiba owner over to the Ethereum CEO. And then what he did was he instantly, I think he either burned them or he donated them. And that basically, I think he burned them actually. And then from there, that instantly removed about 40 to 50% of the initial supply. Now, if you look down below, if you don't believe that fact, the max supply is right here at 999. What is this? 999 trillion. So that kind of tells you the story. And the remaining supply was 589 trillion 695. Now, if you look at circulating supply, You notice the number is slightly different from 589 of total supply. It says 549 trillion 628 billion. Why is that important? Because that goes to show you how much is left over. Because not only was the Ethereum CEO initially burning out the 410 trillion, but you have other people that are starting to burn coins, as I stated earlier, and that number has changed significantly. So far, from the 589 trillion that was left over, there's only 549 trillion. So that means 40 trillion right now has been put to the side. And it looks like that 40 trillion, it could be a combination of staking, burning, etc. So staking, if you don't know about that, that's basically when you take your coins, you put them to the side for a year. Once you put them to the side for a year, what happens is that you earn interest on those coins. Depending on the exchange that you're using them on, you may accumulate 3%, 5%, 6%, 8%, etc. So that's big news. I haven't yet found one that's staking sheep, but I'm pretty sure there's one out there. As soon as I find it, I'm probably going to stake like one or two, maybe 3 million sheeps for myself, leave it on the side, and just let that accumulate interest every year. And as the value of that goes up, you're going to be compounding your interest. Now, that's a different topic, but I just wanted to give you some FYI on that in case you're ever interested in that. Now, look at this over here, guys. If you look at the right, check this out. This is great news. Look at this. Timestamps 3 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 9 hours ago. There is a lot of burning going on within the last 24 to 48 hours. I've looked at this website several times today and yesterday, and I think also the day before. And this website continuously has more burns coming in. So that means that more people are basically burning sheep, which means there's less supply. And by less supply, that means there's going to be less coins available for purchase, which means there's going to be more demand for it, which means essentially the price is going to go up. And this is not even yet including Shibarium. Shibarium has not yet been finalized. It is in its in the latter steps of it, but it is not yet been finalized. So this is just individuals burning this, right? This is not Shibarium burning it just yet. Shibarium has not been released. As soon as it does, it's going to help to reduce the gas fees on Shiba Inu, but it's also simultaneously going to help with every time that there's a transaction. It's going to burn, I think it's like 1% or a certain percentage of sheep for every transaction that's occurring related to sheep. So when Shibarium comes out, that's going to, of course, help it to skyrocket. But check this out. If you're looking at this, these are people who are manually doing this. Look at this. 3 hours ago, 1 million sheep burnt. 6 hours ago, 1.8 million sheep, so almost 2 million. uh, 8 hours ago, 5.3 million sheep burnt. So just in the most recent 8 hours, if you tabulate that together, you have somewhere between 7 or 8 million sheep. And I know million doesn't sound like a lot because, of course, sheep is in the trillions. But think about it. If people were to do this like consistently, either every day or every other day, those millions will add up to billions, and those billions will add up to trillions, which is what's happening. Then look at this. 9 hours ago, 368,000 sheep. 13 hours ago, 2.985 million. So almost 3 million on that one. 14 hours ago, 1.4 million. Another 14 hours ago, 2.293 million. So almost 2.3 mil. 18 hours ago, 100,000. 20 hours ago, 1 million even. Look at this one. 20 hours ago, this is the biggest one so far on the chart right now. 36 million sheep. Look at this. This one right here. 20 hours ago. Look, I'll highlight it. 36 million. Okay. It may not be billion, but think about that. 36 million on top of all the other millions that I just told you. These are separate numbers. This is not like a cumulative number where it's showing, the last number is added to the previous number or anything like this. Is like separate transactions. So we've already gone through, if you add all of these up from 36 million all the way down, all the way up here, bro, you're talking about close to 50 million sheep that have been burnt within the last 20 hours. And look at this, 24 hours, 2.472 million. Look at this one, yesterday, 5 million. Let me see if this view more shows us some more information. Let's go down here. Let's see. 5 million was where we stopped off at. Look at this. 2 days ago, 1.1, right? So we stopped off at the 5 million marker. That was that one, right? 1.1. 1.1 mil, 1.2 mil, another 5 million 2 days ago, 1.1 mil. Look at this one. Look at this bad boy right here. This is no joke. That was one of the ones I wanted to show you because this one was the biggest one 2 days ago. 327 million. Sheesh. Can you say sheesh with me? Sheesh. That is by itself. That's not counting all those other transactions. Again, these are separate transactions. These are not like total balance or total amount updates. These are separate transactions from each other. All these transactions I'm showing are all on their own. These are all separate burns. They're not linked together. 327 million 564,569. That was just 2 days ago. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was on March 14th. Then you got 500,000, 45,000, and 1 million. Look at this. And if look at this, got page one, page two, page three, page four. Now, I don't want to bore you guys with too much of the details, but that's just page one. If you add that up on just page one, that's close to within the last 24 to 48 hours. That's close. Look at these numbers again. I'll scroll down for you real slow so you can see them again. If you add all these up, you've got the 327 million, you've got the 36 million, you've got 5 million listed like three times, you've got several 2 millions, you've got several 1 millions. Bro, if you add that up, that's very close to 400 million sheep in the last 48 hours. And that's not even counting the other ones because I'm sure if I go to page two, three, and four, watch. If I scroll down, just go to page two real quick. Not gonna go through all of them. Look at this. Look at this shit. Oof. Look at this. Excuse my French, but look at that. 400 million. That was also 2 days ago. That's one transaction, 400 million. Then you got the other one from 2 days ago, 327 million. Then you got the 36 million. Then you've got the several 5 million ones and 1 million ones and 2 million ones. Guys, do the math. That's close to 800 million sheep. You know what 800 million is? That's a lot of coins. That's close to 1 billion. Okay. 1 billion on just the last 48 hours. And the thing is that these transactions of being burnt, these are happening more and more consistently because more and more people want to see the Shiba coin grow. More and more people want to see like the value of it go up. And if you're wondering, man, but look at all these burns, but nothing has showed us, shown it skyrocket. I'll tell you why. We'll go down a short story, but before we do, look at this. 1 mil, 1.8, 1 mil, 2, 1, 1.8, 1.2, 1.8, 1.8, 2 point. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. This page alone, not including the 400 million at the very top, that's like another 20 million right there. I'm telling you, you're talking between 8 and 900 million sheep have been burned in the last 48 hours. Look at the timestamps, 2 to 3 days ago, 72 hours ago, 4 days ago. So, you know, it's been like picking up. It's been picking up. It's picking up. It's like every 24 hours, it seems to be like more and more people are getting excited about burning and they're just throwing it in there. So I'm telling you guys, this is why I'm sticking through long term. This is well worth sticking through long term because the proof is in the pudding. You've got the whales that I showed you earlier. The whales are holding 4 trillion. Then that's just one whale. That's not even counting the other whales that I've talked about in my previous videos. If you guys go check out my previous videos, you'll see that there's other whales that have bought 1, 2 trillion as well. So essentially, there's a good 10 or 12 trillion dollars out there just being held by just like a few whales. Think about that. There's a lot of investments into sheep. Nobody's going to throw millions of dollars and buy trillions and trillions of sheep if it wasn't going to be worth something. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with stocks. It may be worth $2 today, but look at Amazon, Google, and all these other stocks. They're worth so much more. Why? Because over time, continue to grow and continue to grow. And I believe sheep is going to be one of those sleeper coins that people keep thinking that because it started as a meme, it's not going to do anything big. Well, guess what? They've got Shibarium coming out. They've got a partnership with Wellies. You know what I'm saying? They've got so many different partnerships that they're doing with different providers. They're even getting into the fashion game where they're going to start doing sheep fashion with certain top level, providers that do like apparel. So they're doing their thing. They're getting into different spaces. They're getting into different partnerships. They're also going to release Metaverse. For those who didn't see the other videos that I did, they're going to release their own metaverse. It's going to be called Sheepverse, and in that Sheepverse, you'll be able to buy only a certain amount of land. And once all the land is bought, you won't be able to buy land unless someone resells it. And if you guys know about the metaverse, you guys already know that a lot of the stuff in the metaverse is being bought for like pennies on the dollar and being resold for hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like there's people selling lands and t-shirts and all kinds of stuff, food and all that stuff on the metaverse. So Shiba is going to do the same thing. They're making their own metaverse called Sheepverse. Sheeb, I believe, is also I forgot if they're trying to partnership with a game. I think there is actually. I don't know if it's with Activision or I forgot which huge provider for video games, but Sheeb is also going to be doing that as well, getting into the video game space. And as you play the game, you'll be able to earn and burn. So you can buy, you can earn it, and as you purchase things, it'll once Shibarium is out as well, it'll help to burn more sheep. So there's a lot of different things that it's coming out with that I've talked about in previous videos. Um, Again, guys, the proof is in the pudding. Here's another one that I want to go ahead and share. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick here. Let me see what this one says. This might be a different whale. I don't think this is the same whale. Let me go ahead and share this screen real quick with you guys. This one right here, the website is Bitcoinist, I believe it is. Let me look at the top real quick. Yeah, bitcoinist.com. So the word Bitcoin and then IST all together.com. If you scroll down, here's another one. It says Ethereum whales splash millions on sheep. Do they know something that you don't know? Well, I'm assuming they do because most of these guys have insider information that we don't typically have. And that's why sometimes you wonder, oh, they're making this move, they're making that move. Why are they making these moves if this coin is worthless or this coin is has no value? Trust me, Shiba has a lot more value than you think. AMC is starting to accept Shiba as a form of payment. Amazon is going to be next on the ropes in the near future. So trust me, don't doubt it. It's getting its partnerships locked, sealed, and delivered. Look at this. This was 1 day ago. And then if you scroll down here, it says Ethereum whale buys $1 million of Shiba Inu. Recently, an Ethereum whale went on a Shiba Inu buying spree. The whale had purchased enough of the meme coin that the whale alert bot had picked up the transaction. According to the post, the Ethereum whale had bought more than $1 million worth of sheep. In total, there had been more than 49.6 billion sheep tokens picked up by the whale, which came out to a total dollar of 1,094,317. So this one could essentially be the same whale. Let me double check. Yeah, I think this one might be the same well, just a different article. Well, actually, no, I think this is a different well because the date on it, the timestamp is different. It says 1:12 a.m. at March 14, 2022. And when we checked the other one, it was March 15, 2022 at 3:51 p.m. So essentially, I think this is a different whale. They just don't want to say it, but I believe it is. Let me quickly check the one that I showed you previously. We should be able to confirm. Let's switch over here. This was the other one. So if we look at the transaction hash, the numbers should be slightly different. So let's see. Last four is 12B38. And this one, if we switch back to it, that's the last five, actually. My bad. And the last five on this one is 5673 Alpha 7. So the transactions are actually different. These are two different transaction hashes. If you look at both of them, if you guys watched it, you will notice that the beginning of the transaction after the 0x, the letters and numbers are different. And then also, if you look at the last 5 or 6 digits, they're also different. Or if you look at all the ones in between, but it's easier to just look at the beginning or the end so you can identify if it's actually different or not, which I just did for you. So these are two separate whales, two separate days, two separate timestamps, two uh, separate transactions, completely different dollar amounts, and also different sheep amounts. Think about that. March 14 was just 2 days ago. Big whale, big purchase. March 15 was yesterday, less than 24 hours ago. 3:51 p.m. yesterday is less than 24 hours ago. Another whale jumped in. You've got two whales, two back-to-back days jumping in over a million each, and one had 49.6 billion 49.6 billion sheep on his purchase. The other one had 50.7 sheep on his purchase. This guy spent 1.09 million, the other guy spent 1.1 million. So literally over $2 million, right? $2 million, whether people like it or not. even though there's inflation going on. 2 million US dollars, I'll take it. It's still worth a good amount of money. You can still get a house, you can still get a pretty sexy car, you can still do a lot of things with 2 million. Two different whales, each invested over $1 million. You really think Sheba is a joke? You think that Sheba is not gonna profit? Why would they put their money in there if they think they're gonna lose money? Why would they put it when the market is down? Think, guys, follow the money because it dipped. They're getting more sheep for less price. You got to think, you got to follow the money. Don't follow what TV is saying. Don't follow what, the fake news online is saying on these fake news channels or even on the real news channels trying to debunk certain coins. If you listen to the news and you listen to people who are ignorant, you listen to people who are not watching these kind of big power moves, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss the boat. You're gonna still be on land while the boat is shipping off the sea into the sunset. You know what I'm saying? So that's another indicator. That's two different whales I just showed you, 2 different days, both within 24 to 48 hours apart from each other. That's insane. Think about that. That's huge. There's no way you're gonna tell me that there's no value. There's obviously value and they know it and they have insider information. I'm sharing some of the info with you guys of the different things that Sheeb has partnered up with. So that kind of tells you there's proof in the pudding. Here's another website for those who are either new to the channel or have not seen this before, or maybe you've seen it before, but you forgot about it because I do my best to try to bring this website up. I don't always bring it up to not bore you too much with the details, but this one I think is also very interesting. The last time I checked on this one, I believe it was at 1,300,000,000. You look at it now, it's at 1,424,000,000. For those of you guys who don't know this website is called biggerentertainment.com. I am not an owner of this website. I am not affiliate or a sponsor. I love the website because of the campaign goal of what it's trying to do. So the campaign, as you can see on the top, it says sheep, and the goal is 1 penny. So, what is it that this website, or I should say, the owners of this website are doing? Why is it important? Why do you care? Well, again, if you're seeing the value so far in sheep, if you've seen it before this video, or if you didn't see the value before and I presented you with enough value, this website, it's its own separate website, its own separate company. It's not affiliated with Sheep. However, it is helping Sheep. This right here. If you look at it, it says total coins burned 1,424,260,528. This website has things like video games. It has media. It has music. It has YouTube channels with playlists. Why do you care about this? Why do you care about their merch, their events, their games? Why do you care? Well, the reason why you care, let me scroll down for you, because these playlists, this merchandise, these video games, all this stuff, these events, these classes, if you guys, well, I think they're also getting NFTs now from what it seems like here. So, anyways, why all this is important is because any money that you spend on this website, they're going to attribute a really, really good, decent amount of that into buying sheep and burning that sheep. The revenue is donated to the burns, just like it says on the top of the website. Now, I don't know if they're doing 100% of revenue. I'm not sure. I would assume they're not going to do 100% because I mean, they've probably got cost fees for the website and things of that nature. But I do know on the music side, the other stuff, I don't know how much they're burning for games, events, and stuff. But for the music, if you stream their music on either YouTube, they'll have like a list of playlists where it's either on YouTube or Spotify. I think they recently just added some other channels as well. Let me actually go to the music section real quick and see if we can look because I know they had Spotify and YouTube, but I'm thinking they added some more. So let me scroll down and see if they show anything. Let's see. I think they also added title. I think they may have also added, let's see, one of the week, song releases. Let's see. I'll tell you why this is important in a moment, guys. Why this is related to sheep. Well, what the main goal of this website is that if you listen to their music, right? On any of the platforms. They have multiple platforms that they're on. On any of those platforms, 20% of the revenue that they generate, which they get a lot of views, so 20% may not sound like a lot, but it is a decent amount. If you can look at how many coins they've burned so far, they've burned 1.4 billion, not million, 1.4 billion. Look how many commas there are. One, two, three. That's three commas. Three commas means billion. So they've already burnt over 1.4 billion coins. They're also one of those catalysts that's helping to burn coins big time. And what it is that if you stream their music, 20% of the revenue they'll buy sheep and they'll burn it instantly. As soon as it paid out, because some of the platforms like YouTube, it doesn't pay until like a month or two later. Spotify typically takes like 2 months. However, I've been watching them since about 4 or 5 months ago, and I maybe even 6 months ago, and when I first discovered this website, they were only at, I think it was 60 million. No, actually, whoa, way less than that, actually. I've discovered this website actually when it was only, I think it was 18 million. Think about that, 18 million, okay? And they're now at 1.4 billion. So I've been watching them for a good 6 months, maybe even 8 months. But around a good 5 to 6 months, I've been watching this website very closely, and they've burnt 1.4 billion since I've started watching. And I started watching them since 18 million. So that means since the moment that I've discovered them up until current day, they've burnt 1.4 1 billion 406 million. That's how much I've seen them burn. 1,406,000,000 because I caught them early. I found them at 18 million. And I've been telling people about this website ever since because the more that we use their music, like listen to it, the more they're creating revenue, the more in revenue, the more sheep that's bought, the more the sheep that's bought, the more sheep is burned, right? So that's why I am a huge supporter of this website and their music. You may not always like all the music they have. Some of it's cool, some of it's good, some of it's catchy, some of it's okay, some of it's instrumentals, so it doesn't have any words. Of course, some of it does have words, and some of the artists are pretty good. But I think the main goal here is help them out. Like they say, help a brother out, help this website out because they're one of the catalysts that are going to go ahead and continue to burn coins. And that's big. That's vital because they've already burnt over 1.4 billion in the last 6 months. That's huge. And that's just their numbers. That's not counting all the other burns that I just showed you. And that's not counting, the YouTubers that are gonna start doing it as well, because it's like 2 or 3 YouTubers already doing it. Me myself, I'm gonna start burning coins too as soon as YouTube starts monetizing. You guys give me more views, more likes and subs. It'll go ahead and activate the algorithm. We'll get more people watching, and of course, by default, that's gonna help us out. So I'm on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. The reason why I said Twitch and Twitter twice is because I created a secondary Twitch and a secondary Twitter. So now I'm streaming these videos on 6 different platforms. Well, 4 platforms, 6 different channels, I should say. So 6 channels, 4 platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. 2 Twitters, 2 Twitches. So 6 total. Um, Now, getting back to the topic, if you look at this here where it says Etherscan receipts, right? So if you click on Etherscan receipts, which I'll click on it, when you first click on it, it doesn't seem like it did anything, but what it did is it refreshed the page. Now, if you scroll down, you'll see the proof is in the pudding. See, Etherscan receipts. So if you notice, I clicked on it, it didn't do anything. It looked like it didn't do anything. It refreshed the page, and now it's showing you all of the burns that they did. Now, most of you guys are looking at this and you're like, damn, you're like, look at all these burns. Look at this 3.5 mil, 23. Look at this 20. Look at this one right here, 23 million merch burn. So, from just merchandise alone, guys, they burnt 23 million. Oof, that's insane. Then sometimes they have these like sheep live parties or sheep parties. Look at this one, 204 million sheep from the sheep lovers burn party. That's crazy. That's insane. By the way, guys, if you hear, I don't know if you can hear any noise in the background or not. I apologize in advance. I like to be very professional, but sometimes, I have people here and they're either making noise or doing other weird stuff like, coughing, sneezing, or cooking. So I apologize. I just heard a sneeze. Hopefully, they didn't catch on the stream. If it did, that's why I'm apologizing. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. So here we go, guys. 240 million sheep lovers burn party. If you guys don't think that these are real, there's all you got to do. You can click a random one. Let's click a random one and let's see if they're telling us the truth. Let's click this one right here, 5 million sheep burn. I click this right where it says here. Boom. It's going to open up a new page for me, right? You guys don't see it yet because it's loading, but don't worry. I'm going to connect it over for you. And if we go ahead and let's see, waiting for it to load. All right, here we go. I'm going to share this. You see? Etherscan. So when you click on the top right corner of their website where it says Etherscan receipts, it's gonna look like it didn't do anything. But what it did is it refreshed the page. You scroll down, you look at all the burns. You can click on any of the hyperlinks to say here, here, here. Click on any of them. Boom, it's gonna open this up for you. It'll open up an Etherscan page. It's gonna show you the transaction hash to show you proof status. It says success. That's gonna show you that they did do it. And then if we scroll around, it should show you the timestamp. So this one says 101 days ago. So that's a burn they did of 5 million coins way back. So that's what 5 months. 4 months is what 120. Yeah, so that's actually that's under 4 months ago. So that's about 3.5 months ago. So that should be around December. Oh, look, the date's actually listed right here. My math is pretty good. There it is, December 4, 2021. So if you look at that, you gotta think about that. That right there is how much sheep, and I think here, look, it shows ether price 4,124.26. Right? So you guys can take the time to click on them individually if you like, and it'll show you all the proof. But yeah, that's proof right there, that it was burnt. So you know, I follow the proof in the pudding. That's why I'm still a big part of the Sheep Army because I think for me it is still going to do big things, and I think it still has a lot of opportunity. So for me, I would say that you gotta stick to it. If you're not in the game, get in the game. If you're in the game and you're worried and you're concerned, stick through it. The only reason, and I'll tell you, I didn't say it earlier, but the only reason why it hasn't fully skyrocketed yet is because simply put, the war is still in effect. That's one of the main reasons. You still have the whole, and I think they've actually released a press on this. You have the whole Biden situation where he's still discussing how we're gonna, possibly regulate, crypto taxes, or how we're gonna regulate, I don't know if it's gonna be regulation on purchasing or whatever the case is, but I think it's mostly focused on taxes. How is that going to be attributed to taxes? So, guys, don't be scared of that stuff because at the end of the day, whether they regulate it or not, just think about it like this. There's some people, they got hacked into their accounts, they lost all their money, and then once they reported it to the police, I don't know if it was like FBI or CIA or whoever it is. I think it was FBI. They were able to investigate, find out who the thief was, arrest them, recapture those coins, and return it back to the owner. The reason why I bring that up is because sometimes we think that regulation is bad, and you know regulation can be good sometimes. Obviously, there's going to be some bads into it or disagree things we disagree with, but at the end of the day, you guys know that it's going to be eventually some of it, not all of it, because it can't all be regulated, but some of it will be regulated in the sense of at least in the form of taxes, like what they think you should pay depending on earnings, etc. So whatever that is, it looks like I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before they had given an update on that, and they were saying that the bill is being passed or it's already been passed or it's almost done. That's another big reason why the markets haven't seen a lot of skyrocketing because you've got the war going on situation, and then you've got the whole um the regulation of cryptos in general, through the Biden administration for whatever they're going to pass on the law. So what I would say is don't be scared, don't be worried. I mean, just look at it as, you know, it's just the cost of doing business, and just look at it as if you have enough write-offs and deductions, or if you have enough things on your taxes where it'll prevent you from having to pay taxes, if you do your taxes right, you get the right accountant, or if you do your taxes yourself and you do it the right way, you should be able to offset whatever taxes they may want you to potentially pay if you did have profit, of course. If you didn't have any profit, that may work differently. But I am not an accountant or a tax advisor, nor am I a financial advisor. So just make sure you look into those things yourself. But main topic or main point of today is that is Shiba Inu worth the time? I would say yes, still is. And I think even more so than what it was a couple weeks ago when I did some videos, or even a month ago, or even 2 months ago. I've been sticking with it. I've been reinvesting. I've been getting more bang for my buck. I've been enjoying the dips in the sales because I'll tell you this, it's not going to be often that these dips happen. And funny story, with Bitcoin. I don't have the article pulled up right now, but I did find it on my cell phone where recently, um, there was this guy that bought Bitcoin back in 2010, I think, or 2013. You can probably Google the article. I'll try to see if I can find it really quick for you, but let me check my cell phone so I could tell you what the article says in the event that I don't find it online again, because it was a big article about how much this guy has in BTC. So basically, what it was is that this guy had bought Bitcoin around 2010 when it was valued at, I think it's like $1 or under $1.50 or two under $2. He completely forgot. I don't know how you forget. I mean, it happens, but he had completely forgotten um that he purchased Bitcoin. I think he bought 489 BTC, 489, and he discovered this recently that he forgot he had that many Bitcoin, because remember at that time Bitcoin was still it was still low, so a lot of people weren't really investing in it. Nobody really cared about it. But this guy, he invested in it way back. He had about 489 coins, which I think now is worth, I think is close to 20 million. They said. So based on that, it says the article says, "Whale ahoy! Bitcoin wallet activated after 11 years." This article was looks like it was last presented and updated on March 15, 2022, which was yesterday. And it says the wallet address in question made its first transaction on October 28, 2010. It says just over 489 BTC was sent from this address. The total value of the BTC was around $20 million. So this guy had this since October 28, 2010. That's literally when like the birth of Bitcoin came out. That was like literally like when it premiered, and I so regret not getting it at that time, because honestly, I remember I was gonna buy some pizza, and I was gonna buy some pizza, and the pizza was asking if I want to pay in Bitcoin, and I'm like, I don't, Bitcoin, I don't own that. I don't want to pay in that. I want to pay just using U.S. dollars, right? And I never thought about actually buying it, but then I looked deeper into it, and I thought about saying, oh, I think this could be something, but I didn't really know at the time how to buy it. I didn't know what exchanges had it available, because it was very, it wasn't something that was very accessible at the time. So I really didn't buy it. But then I regret it, because think about it. If I would have did the same thing this guy did, bro, I would have been a multi-millionaire right now. That's what I'm trying to do with sheep, trying to get it super early, buy millions and millions of coins, and once it skyrockets either to like a penny, maybe 5 cents or 10 cents one day, um, with enough burns, and I believe it's gonna get there. And I want sheep to be like my Bitcoin, because unfortunately BTC, I missed out on that opportunity. But I bring that point up because somebody was smart enough to buy 489 BTC, which at that time was, I think, like $1 a piece or 50 cents or $2 max. So he spent no more between 500 to $1,000 bucks. Think about that. He just left it there, forgot about it, and then he reactivates his account after 11 years. 11 years. I know for most people are like, damn, 11 years would be like a long wait. I don't think she was going to take that long. But if it made me a multimillionaire in 11 years and I still kept living my life as normal and I didn't take it out and just kind of like forgot about it and just let it chill there, found out 11 years later I got $20 million, I would not be mad at myself at all for leaving it there. I'm actually more mad at myself I didn't do what he did with Bitcoin in the beginning. So think about that. Find what you think is your investment. For me, it's sheep. If you guys think and agree with it, like this video, comment below, message me directly. Make sure you subscribe to all platforms. And I would say, guys, this guy, he completely forgot about it, and that's what I'm kind of doing with mine. Not forgetting about it in the sense like I don't remember it exists, but I'm kind of trying to look at it less and less per day. That way, once it actually does skyrocket, I could be excited, I could be happy, and I'm not stressed about thinking about it every day. So I think that's what you guys should do. Just put money into it, let it just sit there, let it do its thing, and with time, I'm telling you, if you stick with the Sheba Army is gonna bless you and they're gonna stick with you. There's just too much. There's too many great things, too much goodness coming out from the Shiba Inu coin. It's no longer a meme coin. I've said that so many times before, and I follow the whales. I mean, I do my own investments just because even if the whales don't get in, all the partnerships and all the new things that Sheep's coming out with, it's a no-brainer. So even if the whales weren't initially invested in it, I already had my coins even before all the whales were jumping in. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying? Um, so for me, the fact that they're reinvesting, they're buying more, they're holding longer. You've got 63, 64% of the holders in buy mode instead of in sell mode. And they're also saying that within the next year to year and a half, we're gonna not only be in a more bullish market, but it's gonna have a huge run for BTC. Don't quote me on this. This is what other people have said. I just overheard it. But for BTC to potentially hit not only 100K, but to go as high as 250K. And if you guys know, the main catalyst for everything else to go up is on the basis of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we do want to cheer Bitcoin and Ethereum on, because the higher they go, the higher everything else goes. The higher everything else goes, the more we all profit. So, and if you look at SHIB, it's still holding in the top 15. The highest it's been, I think it was like either in the top 7 or top 9. It dropped a little bit because other coins are doing a little bit better, like Polkadot and Solana and stuff like that. But I mean, still in the top 15. So that should tell you something too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it went from like, top 7 and dropped all the way down to like number 200 in rank. There's 11,000 coins. Okay. I think over 11,000 total coins. And that's a mixture of good coins, bad coins, meme coins, etc. And number 15, I would say is pretty damn good to still be in the top 15. That kind of tells you something big is coming. They're going to end up back in the top 10 in no time. Dogecoin, even if you don't like it anymore, it's still number 13 ranked out of 11,000 plus coins. Why? Because Elon Musk believes in it. He's still in it. Why? Because other places are going to accept it for payment. Elon's accepting it. He's starting to accept it for, what is it? I think it's for like Tesla or something like that. So I mean, and if he hasn't started accepting it yet, he talked about getting it to the mix, because he talked about it good. He kind of talked bad about it. Now he's praising it again. But now you know what else he's praising? I've seen a lot of live streams where Elon Musk is on the live stream speaking, not previously recorded. He's doing a live stream like this. This live stream is not previously recorded, and Elon Musk is also favoring sheep. I'm telling you guys, don't believe in the BS. A lot of times, these whales or these spokesmen, what they do is they talk bad about something at first, because either they don't believe it, they don't understand the concept, or they don't think it's profitable, or they just want the little guy to get out so all the big guys can make all the money. And I know that sounds selfish, but they're very greedy. They want to keep the profits for themselves. They don't want the little guy to profit. So that's another thing. The news used to talk bad about it all the time, and now every time they talk about finances on the news, they're always talking about crypto, and they're always comparing to how well or how bad it's doing against stocks. The fact that it's in the discussion, the fact that it's all online, the fact that it's on so many platforms, come on, crypto is here to stay. Sheeb is here to stay. Even though I didn't talk nothing about Doge in this one, Dogecoin is here to stay. And I can assure you that BTC and Ethereum are forever here to stay as well. I could be wrong. That might be like a bold statement, but guys, just way too much money flowing in for you not to see the big picture. So, I mean, you've got to, like I always say, follow the money moves, follow the big moves. Okay. So, with that being said, guys, let me see if before I close this out, let me see if I can Google really quick what I was just telling you regarding the whale. Um, so you guys can see real quick that I'm not BSing you on this story. Let's see. Trying to figure out if I could find the link that's on my cell phone. See, there's a couple of different articles here, just like about other stuff. It's not really about what I'm looking for. There's this other article that I found says Ethereum whales buy $20 million in sheep. I didn't even see this article. Is this a new article? Let me jump on this one. This is a different 20 million. This is the other 20 million I was talking about before was BTC. This one's talking about, I think, sheep. Let me see if this will load. There's another article. I may have to share it another time because it's kind of freezing up. But it says on the Google search headline, it says Ethereum whales buy $20 million in sheep, anticipating, and then dot dot dot. So I think anticipating meaning like they're anticipating the growth. Hold on, did it just load? Oh, yes, it did. Let me share this one real quick with you guys. It just loaded. Again, this is a different 20 million conversation. The one before was about BTC and the guy reactivating his account after 11 years. But this one here This one, let me show you this. Boom. Ethereum whales buy 20 million in Shiba Inu, anticipating a bullish breakout. So this is another article different from the other 20 million I was reading to you before, but this one's regarding SHIB. It says Ethereum's large wallet investors have accumulated $20 million worth of Shiba Inu within the past few hours. It says within the past few hours. This article is a little older. This one's back on February 11, 2022, but it's only like 35 days ago. So they haven't pulled that money out. They've kept that in there. So if you thought the other articles I showed you were BS and you thought that the other ones are fake news about 4 trillion and 50 billion, well, this one right here shows you the more proof in the pudding. Started a month ago. They started early. Look at that. 20 million worth of sheep. Said the top 1,000 Ethereum whales now hold $1.7 billion worth of Shiba Inu tokens. Read that again. The top 1,000 Ethereum whales now hold, as of February of this year, February 11, 2022, 1.79 billion worth of Shiba Inu tokens. And if you're wondering where I found the date, it's right here. The date and the timestamp, 4:31 p.m. So that's afternoon, February 11, 2022. And it says, despite accumulation by whale, Shiba Inu failed to recover from the recent price drop. Analysts have predicted a rally in Shiba Inu and a retest of this dollar amount as the meme coin resumes its uptrend. So they actually bought it when it was higher because the coin now is at 0.00022. They bought it at 0.00035. So they bought it when it was higher. And they didn't cash out. They didn't liquidate, even though it's cheaper now. See what I'm saying? So it went down. They didn't liquidate. They kept it in there. And what did they do? They reinvested this month. They reinvested yesterday and today. And what did they do? They did cost averaging, which is what I told you at the beginning of this video. Last month it was higher. They bought in, even though it was a higher rate. What they do in March, after they bought the higher rate in February, in March, which is a month later, which is this month, they bought again, but now they bought at a cheaper rate. So now they're getting more coins, spending less money on the reinvestment. And they did cost averaging. So now whatever they had before plus whatever they gain now that they added in, their cost averaging amount is going to be better because they bought it on the dip. See what I'm saying? That's exactly what I was just talking about. So you guys, just because it dips doesn't mean sell. It means buy more, and it means buy what you can at your own risk, of course, because again, I'm not a financial advisor, but buy more, buy it at your own risk, but definitely buy it when it's on sale, buy it when it's on the dip. And if you bought when it was higher, don't fret, don't cry, don't be upset. Just do what the whales did and do what I tell you on every video. Cost averaging. Make sure if it dips, you buy more. That way it averages it out to a better cost value for you. So that's what I do. If it dips, I buy more. I don't sell when it's low. If you buy when it's low, it's kind of dumb because you lost money and now you sold it at a loss. Instead of selling it, you be smart, you be a genius, you reinvest, you buy it low, and then when it goes back up, your money is now worth more. See? Because you balanced out that cost average. So that's how that goes. But since I can't find that other article regarding the BTC one for the 20 mil, as far as you know, for the BTC, the guy that had the 489. I'll try to find that for another time. If not, I read it to you guys off my cell phone, and you're not on BS about crypto or BTC or Shiba or anything like that. So I'm sure you guys can take my word for it, especially with all the other proof I showed you about Sheeb, even though I was talking about, you know, Bitcoin on a different situation, but uh, it is what it is. So guys, let me go ahead and quickly show you, in case that you're not following already. Let me show you guys the YouTube platform. Let me share this one right here. You'll know it's me because it'll have this banner and this logo, right? Same one that I have on the top right corner of the screen. This will be the YouTube platform. If you're not on there already, if you scroll down, some of my videos are mixed. Some of it is crypto. Some of it is, UFC. Some of it is, I used to do college sports, but college football and college, what's it called? College football and NFL is over. Those seasons are over, so I may end up picking up on MLB when it starts. It still hasn't started, which I'm hoping it does. But if you look, I've got the Fear and Greed Index one here. This one right here. You want to check that one out if you haven't already. That tells you when people are reinvesting, and it tells you, if you're in a market where it's starting to be bullish and if people are getting greedier, you'll know based on that indicator. Here I have Shiba Inu more great news. That one was 3 weeks ago. That one had some of the news that I shared that I discussed briefly on this one, but I went more in depth on that one. Here we've got the Super Bowl. This one over here says Shiba Inu going to rally. There's more updates on that, and there's more videos if you scroll down regarding like sports and stuff like that. So that's what that one is doing. So yeah, if you guys want to tune in, that is my YouTube channel. You guys, some of you are actually on Twitch right now, so I'll go ahead and show you guys on Twitch how the platforms look like so that you can see what I'm working with. Let me open up the Twitch. Let's see, we've got two of them actually, so let's see. All right, so this is the newest one. This one's called Ola TV Official, similar to my YouTube channel, Ola TV Official. Well, youtube.com/Ola TV Official. And if I open this one up and I hit share, this is what it should look like. It would show like the video that's broadcasting. It have the official logos. So that's the newest. That's the newest one. I made the newer one actually look cuter than the original one. Okay. So now, if I go over here, let's see. Okay. So now, if I go over here, and by the way, guys, I don't know if it's echoing just on my side or on your side. Hopefully, it's just on my side. But let me go ahead and switch over to this one. This is the best guy in the biz. It looks weird because it's kind of like loading, but that's the other website that I use for Twitch. That's going to be the best guy in the biz. Let's see. What do we have next? Next, we have Twitter. Twitter. Let's see. This is the new Twitter. This is the official Twitter. This is the one that also has all the banners and stuff like that. Let's see. So hold on, give me 1 second. I'm just showing you guys this, because I never really showed the channel, so that way you guys know it's not a fake channel. All right, boom. So this one right here is the new Twitter. This is the second Twitter. This one right here is the one I created. I think I created this one today actually. And so there you go. The logos are there. If you scroll down, I think it may have some of the videos from the previous times already. Is it already listed on there, or is it just this one? Let me see. So, oh, actually, yeah. So I did stream some of them before. I don't know if I have the settings on this one private or not. I think it should be removed from private because before I think I had it on private. But if it's not, I'll make sure to remove it. But yeah, there's another platform where I have you see all the videos there. And then this is the original Twitter. Let me switch over to that one. This one looks a little bit different because I used to use this one more for promoting my music, which I still do have music on all platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, Amazon Music, etc. I have rap songs on there, and also instrumentals. But I've been working more on rap songs and stuff like that. You can check that out if you ever want to do that at your own time. But anyways, this is the main Twitter that I use. The other one, the one that has the actual Ola TV official banners and logos, that one is the new one that I just created. So if you see less stuff listed on there, if you only see a few of the streams or whatever, that's because I just started using that one. But this one should have a lot of the streams and stuff like that. It says these tweets are protected. So I think um, for sworn I've removed the protection from the tweets. I'll have to check it again. But if you're here, just go ahead and you can watch it on there too. If you're not there, if you send me a follow, I'll accept the request. So no problem. Um, that was more of my main accounts. I used to use that for other stuff. But it's all good. If you try to follow any of my platforms and they're on private, just send me a message or just add me. I'll look into it. I'll add you back. No problem. If you ever want a direct message, you can do that too. But yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this one. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I do want to say that upon doing this new Ola TV official Twitch, I can't see who's actually watching, but I see that there is a new follower. So thank you so much for following. And then I also have a follower on the Twitch platform, on the original Twitch, which is the best guy in the biz. And that person, I appreciate them because they always seem to watch these videos, and they watch all the way so to the Twitch followers, whether you're the existing Twitch follower or you're the new Twitch follower. I want to thank you, you guys, because you guys are always supportive. I noticed the YouTube platform is pretty supportive too, but I noticed Twitch pretty good platform for getting supporters. So that's why I did add a secondary one, so I could just be able to, have more viewers to be able to tune in, chime in. The comments section is always available to you guys. If you have any questions, you drop them down. If you have any comments or concerns, or if you just want to show appreciation, you can do that too. If you want to hit a like, you can do that. If you want to subscribe, you can do that as well. By the way, if you are on the YouTube section, if on the description field, I did actually add all the platforms on there as well. The two Twitters, the two Twitches, the and of course, YouTube. Even though if you're already on it, I still put the link in the description if you want to share it with others. And then, yeah, so that'll have the social media platforms. I have also two of the most recent videos regarding cryptos and sheep in the description field as well. So look for that too. And of course, my disclaimer to protect myself, because people can try to blame you for stuff when you're not actually giving financial advice. So if you look in the description field on YouTube, it'll have my social media contacts, and it'll have the two most recent video links. You can just click the link and it'll open it for you, so you can go ahead and check those out if you haven't seen them already. If you have seen them, watch them again. If you need to take notes, or maybe as a refresher, just to remind your memory, if you're still scared about whether or not Shiba Inu would be a great opportunity for you, it's always good to watch videos again. I know I do. I tend to rewatch videos just so I can recap, take notes, refresh my mind. If I'm ever in a state of like concern or fear, take the fear and take the concern out with a vote of confidence by rewatching the videos and making sure that I stick to the facts, and I stick to the power moves, and I stick to the big money moves, and I also stick to the whales, and I also stick to all these different projects that Sheba's doing, partnering, and releasing for 2022. So, guys, trust me, have faith, believe in it. I believe in it. I think you should too. One day, you don't want to be one of those people that ends up wishing, like me, that I had ordered BTC, or I wish I had purchased BTC earlier. Don't be that. Don't be me. Don't be that guy that waited to the last minute. You this is one commercial that makes me laugh, that I think fits the situation right now.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
That one always makes me laugh, because you got to be quick, man, when it comes to making big moves, power moves, money moves, investments, all that good stuff. And by the way, guys, I'm going to be doing some other videos on some of the things where you may be able to potentially make more money outside of Shiba Inu. There's this other investment opportunity that I found that deals with, it kind of works like a savings account, but it's not actually a savings account. You're staking your money to earn interest, like I said way earlier in the video. I didn't go into detail about it, but I am going to do a specific video designated just to that, because right now, from the information that I had looked up, it looks like it could be offering the APY, which is the annual percentage yield of how much it's going to yield you annually. I think it's like offering 8% or 8.88%. You put your money in there, you leave it there for a year. It'll go ahead and it'll provide you an annual percentage. If you and then if you don't cash out the interest that you're earning, then what it'll do is it'll do a compound effect. So every year you'll essentially be earning even more, because it's compounding. What you've earned on each year. And what it does is, if I'm not mistaken, because I learned this from one of the other YouTube channels that I saw, this guy was talking about it briefly. Um, it pays you every Monday. So what it does is whatever your accumulated amount would be for the year, it takes that amount, it divides it by 52 weeks, and then whatever is your amount that you would make annually, it'll pay you that amount uh divided by 52, basically. So it'll pay you that amount. So let me just use an example. Let's say, this is an example. If whatever amount of money you invested, the total interest that you're going to earn within that year would be equivalent to $5,200. Just as an example, to make it, easy peasy math. So that would essentially mean that you're going to be making $100 a week, right? Because $100 times 52 weeks gives you $5,200. Again, that's based on how much you invest and what the APY is at the time. It could go up, it could go down, but that's, it's a 8%. So let's just say that your 8% is equivalent to 5,200 earned, annually. So that'll be 100 a week. And what they do is, instead of paying you at the end of the year, they're gonna pay that amount to you weekly, not the 5,200. Because remember, it's 5,200 divided by 52 weeks is $100 a week. They're gonna pay the $100 because that's equivalent to what you would get each week, for the year. So that'd be $100, and it's paid, if I'm not mistaken, he was saying every Monday. So whatever you accumulate in the year, you take that divided by 52. That number that you get once you divide it by 52 is what you'll get weekly, and whatever that weekly amount is, they pay that to you every Monday into the account. So that's very interesting information. It has nothing to do with Shiba Inu, by the way. This is just a company that, if you're staking, I don't know all the coins that you can stake because I haven't looked into it yet, but I will be looking into it and doing a video on it briefly so that if you guys are interested, and it tickles your fancy, pause, no pun intended. But if it catches an interest for you, that might be something you might want to do because, as you know, banks, they're one of my friends posted on her Instagram recently that she tried to take out all her money from the bank. And guys, I know this is going off on a tangent, but this is why crypto is important. And it doesn't, and even if you're not into sheep, just crypto in general is important. But she tried to take her money out of the bank. I don't know how much. I don't know if it was like $100, $500, 1,000. I don't know. But all I know is, regardless of whether it was a small amount or a large amount, right? The bank did not want her to take out as much money as she was requesting. So why is that important? Because a lot of banks, and specifically so in New York, that I have learned, I don't know if it's also happening in other states yet, but in New York, specifically, I think in NYC, like New York City area, a lot of banks are closing. A lot of banks are shutting down. Like, they're closing, like, you know, the brick and mortar location, like that you can't go into the bank anymore. The physical bank itself is being closed. Why is that important? Because the banks are noticing that crypto and digital money is easier money to manage, it's more profitable, and a lot of them are getting into the crypto space even though you don't know it. They're doing it super low key, and you may not even know it. Or you may know it, but you may not believe it. You better believe it, because a lot of these brick and mortar locations, they're shutting them down. It's more cost efficient for them to just do everything online, and it's more cost efficient if they start doing everything through crypto. So you've got to pay attention to the big power moves. She posted that on her Instagram literally, I think it was today or yesterday. She's like, "Oh, I went to my bank." She's like, she posted something, how they put a caption. She was like, "Tell me how I go to the bank and they won't even let me take out any of my money." Why? Because a lot of those funds could be frozen, could be on hold, or because a lot of people are pulling their money out of the US dollar, because that's our currency, that's our fiat. A lot of people don't want to use US dollar anymore because the US dollar is experiencing inflation. Everything's costing more, so the value of the dollar is going down. But if you put your money in crypto, even if it dips a little bit, eventually it's going to all start going up and skyrocketing, right? Again, this is not financial advice, but it's going to do that for you. And what's happening is a lot of people are going into the crypto space. The banks know that. If the banks allow everyone to continue doing that, then the banks don't have your money to hold in their banking system. Why is that important? Because the banks, when if you didn't know this information, when you deposit your money in the bank, whether it's a checking account or a savings account, the bank takes your money and they put that money into the stock market. You could do your own research on that. Then whatever money they accumulate in interest, they keep it for themselves. Your money, they still let you use it. They still let you pull it out. They still let you buy it. They let you do whatever you want. But have you ever noticed that it's easier for the money to get out of your account than it is to go in? And what do I mean by that? When when you buy something, they take it out of your account in zero point 0.3 seconds, instantly almost, right? But when you get a refund, how long does it take? It used to be 3 to 5 business days. Then they did 5 to 7 business days. Now they do 7 to 10. Some places do 7 to 14 business days. And business days don't usually count calendar days, like on the weekends. That could essentially be like 3 weeks before you get your money back. Why? Because it covers the bank's asses, not assets. They're asses, ASSES. It covers them from losing money from everybody pulling their money out too fast. Why? Because your money is invested in the stock market. That's how they make money. That's a whole different topic. I'll probably discuss more of that another time if it's essential to this space and to this platform. But yeah, banks use your money to make interest. They don't pay you jack. They're making like 3%, 5%, 8%, whatever percent they're making. They're not paying you anything. Your checking account is free checking. There is no interest that they're paying you on that. And if it's in your savings account, it's less than 1%, if even that, probably a half a percent, if even that. Because now I think they do like 0.002 or 0.005 or 0.003. Now there's like zeros in front of it. They pay you an interest similar to the amount of digits similar to like crypto. Like they're paying you like a small fraction of a penny, not even a small fraction of a dollar, a small fraction of a penny in your savings account. But that's the reason why a lot of these banks are closing. I brought that example up because crypto is not only now, crypto is the future. Digital money is the future. Eventually, all these fiats are going to have to go away. Even Japan themselves, they said that, and I don't have the article on it, but even Japan themselves said, I think their currency is the yen. If I'm wrong on that, just whatever country is the yen. It's either Japan or China. I think it's Japan. They said any transactions that occur regarding like purchases, if it's not done with the yen, Japan will not be accepting payments. And they said they will not be accepting crypto. And guess what they said now? Recently, there was an article that says that Japan is going to start not only will they accept the yen, right, their standard form of currency, but they're going to create a coin. And the coin, I think the name of it is going to be called yen, and they're going to accept that as a form of payment because that's going to be their crypto. It hasn't been released to my knowledge, but that's something in the future they want to do. I mean, come on. All these big companies, corporate companies, all these governments, all these banks, they all talk all this shit about crypto because they think it's not the future and it's not here and it's not the now. Guys, this is still the very early stages of crypto, and I keep saying this. Get in now while you can. I know a lot of these opportunities look like you missed it, but trust me, you have not missed the boat just yet. There is still a lot of growth in this space. Metaverse, NFTs, cryptos, all that stuff. There is still a lot of growth. I know a lot of people are making a lot of money, and maybe you missed out on a lot of opportunities, but I can assure you there's still way more opportunities on the way. These are still the early stages. It just feels like we're in the later stages. We're not. We're not even close. Even with BTC being at 40K, 50K, 60K, it's a big chunk for one coin. That's not even close to what it's going to be 3 to 5 years from now. Remember when it was $1 or $2? Remember when it was 23 cents and it went up to like 3K and then it tanked to like under 500 and everybody got scared? Well, guess what? Where's it at now? 40K, 41K. Where did it peak to recently? 62K, 60K, 50K. I mean, guys, the proof is in the pudding. It's always volatile, but it's always gonna make way more in profit. It's always gonna the charts are always gonna go way up. They're always gonna reach all time highs. Um, Again, not financial advice, but just look at the charts. BTC used to be under $1 when it hit four figures, and then it tanked back to three figures. People got discouraged and all liquidated. Had those idiots kept their money into BTC, and I was one of those idiots that got in late, and then I cashed out when it tanked. So don't be an idiot. Be smart. Be the smarter version of me, not the dumber version of me. But if I would have left my money in there, $100, 1,000, whatever I had in there, and if everybody else was the same, could have been thousandaires, could have been millionaires, could have been multimillionaires. Just like the guy that put 20 mil, he put 489 BTC, and now it's worth 20 million, and he just activated his account after 11 years. Crazy. I could have been that guy if I would have been smart to invest in it early. And it was a two-step process: invest in it early and keep it there. See, I invested in it when it was like $500, and I was thinking like that was too much money at that time. I was like, oh man, this thing's not gonna go up. Screw this. And guess what happened? That thing's all the way up to 40K right now, and it's peaked at 62K. crazy. I wouldn't even have to. I wouldn't have to worry about nothing right now. I have millions of dollars at this point. So, guys, you win some, you lose some, but you got to learn from your mistakes, and that's what I'm doing. And that's why it wraps back to sheep. It wraps back to the whales, what they're doing. You messed out on BTC, that's cool. Do Ethereum, do Sheep, do Polkadot, do Solana, Dogecoin, if you have some faith still in it. Whatever you think is best for you. But for me, I'm behind the sheep army. I'm part of the sheep army. And I think eventually it may never hit $60,000 a coin, but it doesn't have to. Because if you've invested a good chunk now, that thing hits, if it eliminates one zero, 2 0, 3 zeros, you're going to be a thousandaire at minimum with this coin. Minimum a thousandaire, meaning you're going to be a six-figure earner with this coin minimum. But you may even potentially hit 7 or 8 figures if you're willing to go the distance. You got to be willing to go. If you're not willing to go the distance, I don't know what to tell you. But guys, again, make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, doing all the good things that make the algo, aka algorithm, push in a positive way. You guys, I am so close to getting part of the YouTube, getting into the YouTube program. The YouTube program, for those who are not knowledgeable or don't know, I'll give you a little bit of the behind the scenes. It is you need a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, which I already have. You have to have your two-step, what is it, two-factor authentication, which anybody can do that. I recently added that. You have to have make sure you have no strikes on your account. I won't go into detail what that is, but I have zero of those. And then the fourth thing, which is the last thing that you need, is you have to have at least 4,000 hours of more of watch time, meaning like viewers have watched a total. Like it doesn't have to be one video, it has to be an accumulation of just, it could be one video or it could be an accumulation of all the videos. But as long as you hit 4,000 hours in a year within the last 365 days. So it goes from current day back to your as far back as 365 days. And right now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say I'm like 100 hours shy, or I think I'm right at the 4K mark, the 4,000 hour mark. So it's close. It's close. So once you qualify, then from there, I believe they send you an email, or I believe you can manually apply for it. Whatever the case is, I'll figure out the steps once I hit it. But I am so close. And the reason why I am sighing a little bit, because I'm like, man, I just want to hit the mark so I can just, send in the application. Because once you send the application and then it gets approved, now you can start monetizing. And why is that important? And why do you care? Because again, I want to be one of those big YouTube platforms similar to the other channels that I've seen, where the revenue they generate from YouTube, they buy the sheep, as I stated in the beginning, and they burn it instantly on the same day. They buy it and they burn it. And I've already showed you guys the She Burn website, so I don't have to show you that again. You've seen the proof is in the puddings. Somebody's out there relentlessly, in a good way, relentlessly burning coins. And I don't think it's just one person. I think it's multiple people, because I've shown you guys like the bigger entertainment platform, and I've showed you guys all those She Burn scans. So it's got to be more than just one YouTuber, one channel, or one person, or whatever. It's an army. I can't do it alone, but we can all do it together. And all I can tell you guys is this: if you guys stick with me, man, I get qualified for the YouTube program, I get monetized, I can tell you that I would do my due diligence to create as many videos as we can, more content, and also be able to continue to spread updates for the benefit of you guys, but also to make sure that I keep the content fresh and up to date so that more people can watch more videos, can gain more streams, more videos can be able to gain more monetization. And then once I start accumulating revenue, I'm going to use it to buy and burn sheep. And I'll even do videos where I show you guys that I bought it, how much I made, and that I burned it. That way you guys know I'm not BSing. One of the YouTubers recently did that too. He showed how much he made for the month. He made like $189 for the month. I know it's not a lot, but what he did was he rounded it up. Even though YouTube only paid him about $189, he said, I'm just going to buy $200 worth of sheep. He bought $200 worth. Then he showed the scan, he showed the website, he showed everything. At that time when he did it, which was I think this week or last week, um, it was equivalent to about 8.3 million. Yeah, I think it was 8.3 million Shiba Inu. Again, it doesn't sound like it's a big extravagant number because we're trying to get into the trillions. But guys, you've seen all the ship burns I showed you. A lot of people are burning between 1 million to like 400 million sheep. So think about it. Yeah, one person doing 8.3 million may not sound like a lot, but he's not the only one doing it. There's multiple people, multiple transactions within hours, not even just within days, within hours, people just killing the burns, just boom, boom, boom. You've seen it 3 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 9, 12, 10, 12, 24, 2 days ago. I showed you guys the consistency of the burns are becoming more and more prevalent. People are getting in the game to burning out these sheep because we're trying to do so. Think about it. If enough people are burning millions of coins or hundreds of millions of coins every 24 to 48 hours, it's only a matter of time before we hit a trillion. You got bigger entertainment burn 1.4 billion on their own. Okay, that's that's a big freaking deal. Just one website. Then you got these YouTubers burning several millions. So I mean, if you guys help me, I could be one of those next people, helping the sheep army and hopefully burning, millions and then hopefully maybe even burning a few billions, with some good videos, some good views and with timing. So I want to help the army. I'm a part of the army. I want to be an advocate and a catalyst for the army, just like everyone else was burning. I want to be a part of the big wave. So help me get there, guys. That's all I can say. Help me get there. If you got to watch my videos 100 times, watch them 100 times. Shoot, turn them on and just go to sleep. Let them play on your phone. Let them play on your tablet. Let them play on your TV. Shoot, let them play on all the devices. And just go to sleep. Let that bad boy run for 8 9 hours while you sleeping. And if you did that every day, you know, my hours are gonna go up, my views are gonna go up, which is gonna be great, and it's gonna help me, and then in turn I'll help you guys. So with that being said, I don't want to go too much more off on a tangent, but I did square it all back to crypto, to sheep, and to helping the army as well. So, and of course, to the discussions of the burns and the whales, etc. So, even though some of these things may have sounded like I went slightly off on a tangent, if you connect all the dots of everything I said, it actually all makes sense. It all connects and it all goes together. So, guys, in case that if you're not on YouTube, let me post really quick the social media for you before I disconnect on this, just to let you know the this social media video that I created was about either a couple weeks ago or a month ago. So it may not have all of the channels from all the platforms, but it has at least a good chunk of the channels. So it has most of them. I think it's only missing one or two. So you can always look into the description eventually and find the other channels if you haven't found all of them. But here it is real quick. Take a look, take a picture, a screenshot, save it, and go ahead and add me. Here we go. All right, guys. Well, there you go. Those are a lot of the main channels there that I use when I'm streaming these platforms. Again, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch are the four platforms, six channels in total, two Twitters, two Twitches, one YouTube, one Facebook. So you may already have some of them there. And if you don't, go ahead and follow any of them, just in case if you're ever here and it drops for any reason, you can just go ahead and switch over to the other platform. Or if you want to help with views, hey, you can have multiple tabs open and just go ahead and open multiple platforms and multiple channels. But with that being said, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate everyone who came to the platform, stayed from the beginning to the end. Again, I want to thank you guys so much from the individuals who are watching on my Twitch, from the best guy in the biz and Ola TV official. You guys are the best, and I always like to thank you guys because the Twitch supporters and the Twitch followers seem to be the ones that typically stay from beginning to end. And I have one on Ola TV official on my Twitch, and I have one person on the best kind of biz. So you guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for your time. You guys always come through, watch. Uh, you guys are the real MVPs and the GOAT. And I know the individual that always watches me from the best guy in the biz Twitch. You've been here since day one, so I appreciate you so much. And hopefully one day I'll get to talk to you guys or meet the fans and supporters. So appreciate your time. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And later on today, possibly either today or tomorrow, I'll be doing some more videos. It'll be about different content though. It might be discussing a little bit of football, even though football season's over. Discussing possibly the unretiring moment of Tom Brady coming back to the NFL, possibly for his 23rd season. So that'll be a interesting topic. And also, possibly tomorrow, I'll be introducing one of my friends. He does rap music as well. He does it a little bit more consistently than I do, and I know these are different topics, but these are things that I do cover on my channel as well whenever I'm not covering crypto, just to keep the channel exciting, different, and vibrant. I like to discuss different things. Um, I'm just gonna go, kind of ask a few questions, do a Q&A. So any of you guys who are either into rap music, you can listen to his music, or if you want to get into rap music and discover different ways of how to propel your career, gonna ask him different questions so that we can be able to go ahead and kind of like pick at his brain. He does live shows, he does merchandise, and he makes a pretty good amount of money. He actually doesn't even have a job anymore. His job is being a rap artist, and even though he may not be, let's say, like a Drake or a Future or anything like that, sometimes we get lost in trying to be too high too fast, where we focus too much energy on trying to be like someone else. And we can't do that. We got to focus on ourselves. And the reason why I say that is because he's not focused on being anybody else. He's focused on just being himself. And yeah, he makes enough money where he's traveled to Florida, to I think either Hawaii or Alaska, and other different states and locations where he's doing live performances, getting paid for it, getting paid to do merchandise. He's selling his merchandise, his CDs, his digital releases as well, etc. So something that you could, and even if you're not interested into making your own rap music, that might just be an interesting topic for you to tune in and just kind of get inspired. Do your own thing on whatever other career path or hobby or whatever it is that you want to do. It might inspire you. So tune in, guys. So yeah, it'll be later on today. I should be doing the Tom Brady one. Tomorrow, which is Thursday, should be the one with him. He's the rap artist. And then also today, I may do what I haven't done in a while, which is three streams in one day. If I'm not too tired. The third stream may be pertaining to Razor Ramon. For those of you guys who are possibly WWE or WWF fans back from the Attitude Era days and all that good stuff. I don't really cover wrestling much on this platform, but I did want to cover the passing of Razor Ramon. Rest in peace, rest in power. For those of you who may be watchers of that, he passed away recently, multiple heart attacks. It did sadden me because I did watch a lot of the Attitude Era, which is my favorite era, even though, of course, it's scripted and stuff like that. But um, it's always fun to watch it. The newer content, not so much. But big fan of the Attitude Era. He was part of that, and I think it's worth giving him a tribute. I may even try to do where I kind of stream a few of his clips of his promos, because his promos were hilarious. I may try to stream those like from other YouTube channels, because there's some other channels that I don't know how, but somehow they posted the videos and they don't seem to be getting it removed from YouTube, which is rare because YouTube typically, like, if it's something copyrighted, they want to knock it off. Hopefully, when I do that one, they will not knock off, my live stream. But yeah, I'll share some of those promos so we can have some laughs, because his promos make me laugh. He's had charisma, uh, great gimmick, great energy, great in-ring presence, etc. So his promos made me laugh a lot, and I think it'd be nice to do a short video, or just a video in general for him as a tribute. Just enjoying the laughs, and you guys can join it with me. For that video, I may actually go back to showing my face again for that specific video, because as you guys know, if you're long-term supporters. Some videos I do with my face on screen, some I don't. I just do it based on if it's pertinent to the situation. And I think that one will be pertinent because of you guys can see my reactions, join in, and have laughter with me as well. So that should be later on tonight. I may either do that one first in the afternoon and maybe do the Tom Brady one at night, or vice versa. Do the Tom Brady one first and then later on in the evening do the Razor Ramon one. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications. If you're not on YouTube, whatever notifications you have, make sure you hit the follow button. If you're following me on Twitch or Twitter or Facebook, make sure you add me or follow me. So that way, when as soon as I live stream, you guys are connected right away, and you are good to go. So, guys, thank you again so much for staying from beginning to end. For those that did, you guys are great supporters, especially the ones on Twitch. You guys are always sticking to the end, and I appreciate that so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and just close it out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for vibing with me on this one, and I'll see you guys very soon on the upcoming videos. Peace.